Hello everyone, my name's FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Novena Diabolos. What is with this demoness doing with possibly our notebook? Yes, I see you there. I return to the scene to pick up my notebook and see something that makes me stop. I rub my eyes to make sure that I'm seeing right and take another look. I'm not mistaken. Sure enough, there's a girl there. What's with all these people around here? Oh, great heavenly tree Buddha. The girl muttered something with her eyes closed. Hi there. Then slowly turns her head towards me.
거기서 뭐해?
What am I doing here? I have no idea, but you seem to be nearby, something which I dropped here when I was, beg your pardon?
거기서 뭐 하냐고.
What are you doing here? She speaks in a clear, quiet voice, but it's obvious she's unhappy about me being here. I don't really know how to respond. This young girl appears to be a middle school student at best, is interrogating me while calmly standing next to a corpse. This is not a situation I was ever prepared for.
여기 위험해. 몰라?
Yes, I understand that, but this is not our first time seeing this, so the shock value is largely dissipated. Dangerous? What do you mean? I realise how stupid I must sound, but I can't stop myself from asking.
따라와.
Follow you? No thanks. Hey, wait! I didn't ask for this. This girl is very strong for someone her size. The resistance is futile, and even though I don't really want to, I have no choice but to let myself be dragged along by this girl. Great. What did they want? I've been dragged quite far away. Stop it already. Who the hell are you, a wrestler?
이름.
My name? What?
너. 이름이 뭐냐고.
Your name? What is your name? Jun Sum Park. And you, what about yours? Sumi Choi. I really don't know how to reply to her short and abrupt answer. Sumi Choi. What an unusual name. Take a closer look. I look at Sumi, a middle school student at best, right? If she claims to be in high school, I'm gonna need some ID. Her face is... Don't be disturbed by the cuteness. But there's an aura about her that makes her seem distant and enigmatic. Her slivery, shiny hair makes her appearance even more mysterious, though, if I can't honestly tell if it's dyed or not. Then talk to her. You look like a student, so what are you doing here? You shouldn't walk onto a crime scene just like that. The killer may very well still be on the loose and nearby.
여기에 살인범은 없어.
How do you even know that, Sumi? I'll wait for her to continue, but Sumi doesn't say another word. So, what are you doing here? I end up repeating my question. I have to say, she's a little difficult to deal with.
역귀가 돌고 있어. 마을에.
You don't say. There's something blooming right in this village, and you're one of the corporates. Something is blooming? Hey now, don't just stop there. Please tell me what you mean.
너 여기서 죽을 거야.
Thanks, Sumi. You just need to say that, don't you? Huh?
살고 싶으면 나가.
Yeah, well, I wish there was a way to get out of here, but my car's broken down, my GPS has been scrambled by the likelihoods of this thick fog, and you're certainly somebody who is going to be a threatening presence later on down the line when the full game releases. I stare at disbelief as she walks past me, and barely managed to catch up to her. Hey, I need to know what you mean. Why am I going to die?
혼이 비정상이 돼.
You don't say. And you're saying that like if I have one and you don't. Abnormal for... I'm sorry, what?
놔.
Just let what go? Huh? She pushes me aside with ease. What is up with those eyes of hers?
놈들이 널 죽일 거야.
Who are they? Stop being so vague. Stop going around the subject itself and just tell me the subject. Who are the other guests?
난 경고했어. 분명히.
Yeah, I have warned you quite clearly, I might add. Speaking a quiet, concise voice, Sumi disappears. I look at the spot she was standing at just a moment ago. Although our conversation wasn't a long one, I'm utterly exhausted. What the hell was that all about? I'm going to be killed? By them? I feel like I'm the weak kid everyone's ganging up on. I can't really stress how much I hate this place. Too many strange people in one spot. All of them with a weird aura. Something's definitely wrong when talking to a harmless girl feels as uncomfortable. It's not wrong for you to feel uncomfortable in these circumstances. Okay, I have to keep it together. I have nothing to fear from a couple of backwater village weirdos. shake off the feeling of uneasiness and start walking. I'm exhausted. First things first, I need to get out of here. But your notebook. Your notebook was left behind. It's still early in the morning, and yet I feel like I've already had enough. My mind is so preoccupied that I forgot about breakfast and returned to a motel. Feeling my stomach gets the least of my worries right now. I just need some time to organize my thoughts. I suddenly come to a
거기,
halt.
잠깐만요.
Great, somebody else. Most likely one of the other demonesses of this place. It's the soothing, silky voice of a woman, a sound that doesn't fit this village's bleak atmosphere at all. What is it this time? I look in the direction the voice is coming from with a tired, weary expression. Hi.
반가워요. 전 유채린이라고 해요.
Well, you seem modest at first glance, but I still don't trust you. She's a beautiful woman. Her pretty face matches her voice. A beautiful woman who's talking to me with a smile on her face. Honestly, I can't say I would complain about that, but that is still another one of their weapons that we use to lure in victims. All things considered, this is the first genuine friendly greeting I've received in a long time. Facade. Hi there, my name's Sinjun Park, nice to meet you. I greet her, looking at her carefully. This has yet to be translated, developers. Riche looks like a stereotypical rich girl, stunningly beautiful and dressed in expensive clothes straight from a banquet. She'd fit the role of one of those mean girl characters from a 90s K-drama, the type that harasses the protagonist all the time. So that means that's going to happen to you then? Is this going to be some sort of fourth-wall prickage? Well, I guess she isn't young enough for that. If I had to take a guess, I'd say she's probably in her mid-20s. If someone told me she's an up-and-coming actress, I would believe it in an instant. Great, this one.
처음 보는 분 같은데.
Because I only came here yesterday, Rin.
여기 분이 아니시죠?
I am not indeed. That's right, I'm an outsider.
외지인이라.
Yes, somebody that is not from the village.
그럼 이 마을엔 무슨 일로 오셨죠?
I am here to investigate a report of mass disappearances in which all of them have one thing in common. They all have a very, very strange case as to why they disappeared, and this village somehow fits the bill of that strange phenomenon.
여행이라도 오신 건가요? 아니면 이 마을에 가족이 있어서?
I don't have any family here, or not that anybody told me, for goodness sakes. I'm on no trip, Rin. Her overly direct, inquisitive approach startles me a little. It's starting to feel less like a spontaneous greeting between strangers and more like an interrogation. My eternal alarm bells are ringing, which is why I think carefully before opening my mouth. I'm kind of stranded, actually. Suddenly there was all this fog. I'm here because I didn't have much of a choice. Yes, that is so, Rin. Don't overthink it. Rin Che gives me the once-over. What's up with that unpleasant attitude? My first impression of her was good, but this is offensive, don't you think? All of these have one thing in common. No, I did not come from the capital of South Korea. Did you come here from Seoul? Yeah, I'm a program director. Oh, I see.
서울에서 방송국 일을 하신다.
Yes, and what might you have your interest in that? Rin looks at me as if I'm some rare exotic animal put on display in a zoo. No, maybe I'm just being too sensitive. I'm a bit stressed out. I'm a stressed out mess. If this is a lot to take in, maybe I'm just imagining things and reading into it. I decided to break the ice in the hopes of softening the strange atmosphere between us. Renchair, was it? I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you don't appear to be from around here either.
제 소개가 늦었네요.
Exactly, who are you?
전 영환건설의 유채린 전무예요. 여기 제 명함이요?
Yun H1 Construction's Executive Director. So you have a business card as well. Yun H1 Construction. Rinche Executive Director. Executive Director? I'm a little puzzled. Isn't that one of the 3 largest construction companies in Korea? Such a big company has such a... Yeah... Age doesn't matter, your ability is. How did I already know about this, given my occupation? Ren Che looks at me with a playful expression. Is it really a bit obvious how surprised I am?
피디님이랑 나중에 진지하게 이야기해보고 싶은데 가능하실까요?
You call me Mr. City Boy. I'll call you Miss Town's Girl. My eyes meet her. A serious talk. The sound of that bothers me somehow. What could young H5 Construction's executive director possibly have to say to me? I don't let my worries get the best of me and nod slowly. Yeah, sure thing. I have a lot of free time on my hands anyways.
알겠어요. 그럼
예.
나중에 뵙죠.
Yeah, see you later, alligator.
자, 들어가 쉬세요.
Thank you. Relax a little. How did you know that I'm going to relax? I nod my head inside. I turn around to look back in Rin's direction. She is still watching us for some odd reason. Despite its warmth, Rin Che's smile looks strangely ominous. Don't all three of these demonesses have something in common? The fact that their smiles are ominous? I step inside the motel. The motel owner looks at me as he rolls his eyes and makes gestures I can't quite place. It looks pretty funny.
소식 들으셨어?
What news would that might be, motel owner? The news? What do you mean?
살인 사건 말이오.
The murder? I'm taken aback for a moment. I thought I'd let this guy know, but it looks like he's heard about it already. Did Hannah tell him about it?
지금껏 폭력 사건 하나 없던 곳인데 살인이라니.
You don't say.
손님도 몸 조심하시오. 해지면 돌아다니지 마시고.
Thank you very much. Yes, you're right. I'll keep that in mind.
아이 그래도 너무 걱정하지 마시오. 이 좁은 마을에서 범인이 어디로 숨겠어?
I don't know, motel owner. Probably inside the thick fog.
이미 마을에서 힘 좀 쓰는 사람들이 수색 중이니 곧 잡힐 거야.
Diligent people from this town. Yeah. The only sane people around here are people who are influenced by the powers of demons. The motel's owner's words make me think. If the townspeople are trying to deal with this on their own, that must mean that there really is no way at all to contact the police around here. Chasing after a murderer like that and venting out there is dangerous. Things could get dangerous if ordinary people take matters into their own hands. I should speak in a casual matter. This is their business, I don't need to get involved. Give advice. Don't you think that's a little too dangerous? I think it would be better to wait until the police can get here. The fog should clear up soon, right?
이 양반
Yeah.
어떻게 살인범이 있는데 모르는 척 지냅니까? 빨리 붙잡아버리고 속편히 사는 게 낫지.
There is that. They say time is of the essence.
그렇게 속편히 지내다간 다음엔 손님 차례가 될지도 몰라요.
Thank you for your positivity, motel owner. It sounds harsh, but he has a point. A bait, a strange one. I try to find the right words to argue with him, but then I stopped myself. It was just a thought I had. I was sure things would be fine.
여전히 속편하시구만.
Well, there is no point to panic, motel owner. I look at him with a puzzled expression, but he just stares back at me with a face I can't read at all. What's his deal? I feel weirded out all of a sudden. So much I choose not to say anything else. I just walk straight past the counter. Don't you need the key, though? Did you give the key back to him? I have a strange feeling about that man, and it isn't the first time either. You have a strange feeling of everyone here. I'm not gonna lie. I make my way up the stairs, then stop. What, is there gonna be somebody else that's gonna make an introduction? A girl is looking out of her room at the end of the hallway. I make eye contact. Oh, of course, yes. It's another one of the possible demonesses. I'm honestly surprised by how tall she is. I'm not a particularly short guy, yet I still find myself having to look up. For a moment, I wonder if she's a famous model. But even though she's tall, her face shows that she's still a young girl. If I had to guess, I'd say she's a high school student. I wonder if I'm right. Hi there. She freezes as she sees me. She looks like she's just seen a monster. Instantly filled with self-doubt, I look down at myself, but in all honesty, my appearance shouldn't provoke such a drastic reaction. I'm not that scary. Maybe not the cream of the crop, but at least a solid 7 out of 10, right? What you're saying is not half bad. And it's not like I'm physically imposing and towering over her either. And look at her again. The poor girl still looks scared. And also quite sad for some reason. She must be nearly 6 foot tall, but she has a very delicate young appearance, and yet her eyes look strangely lifeless to me. I don't think her being scared is the only reason for that. I wonder what her story is. Hey, hello there, how are you? So, are you a tourist too? Just passing through? Great. For a moment, I just stand there in disbelief and stare at the door that was shut so suddenly, sorry. What the hell, did I say anything wrong? No, you didn't. I feel like there's been a big misunderstanding here, but I really don't have the time or energy to clear it up right now. I just shake my head and make my way towards my room. Anybody else gonna give us a hard time? I'm not found self-pity, but I've really been through a lot. It's still really early in the morning, yet I'm already exhausted. I feel like I would have no trouble falling asleep on the spot. I walk out into the hallway, slow steps. Great! Somebody else! We've met all 5 of them now! Wow, that's close. I almost bumped into her. Hi. Is she staying here too? Seems plausible. Why else would I run into her here of all places? Move to the left. Move to the right. Move to the left. I turn to the left. At the very same moment, she moves in the exact same direction as me. This time I turn to the right. And of course she moves in the exact same direction once again. I take a small, clumsy step back. Hey, what's up?
네.
Yes. Most awkward greeting ever. How super strange for both of us. This whole situation is painfully weird. Look at her. There is an alluring emptiness in her eyes. They have an air of mystery about them. Don't they all have something in common? They all have an emptiness, mysteriousness in their eyes. Her overall appearance is quite mature, leading me to believe that she's older than me. Her appearance is modest, yet the way she carries herself is intriguingly glamorous. What stands out the most to me is her strange, awkward atmosphere seems to have completely subsided from one second to the next. How interesting. She looks sad somehow, yet content and comfortable at the same time. Talk to her. I squeeze my body against the narrow hallway's wall and make a gesture signaling her to move past. You want a conversation? I can't help but stare at her as she walks away. I don't know how to properly put it in words, but she exudes a very strange aura. Doesn't everybody exude this strange aura? Those 5 demonesses and the motel owner exuding the same kind of thing. There's something about her that's almost calming, yet at the same time magically magnetic. I open my mouth without even realizing. Hey, I'm Sunjun Park, and my name's Nari Lee. So what brings you here? Well,
요양차 근처에 왔다가 안개 때문에 길을 잃어서요.
You was on your way to a nursing clinic and got lost in the fog. There's no nursing clinic in this route. You must have needed to take another route to get there. Clinic? Is there something that ails her? Now that I think about it, Nari does look as if she's lacking energy.
준성 씨는요?
I am an investigator. I'm a PD. Here's my card. News?
시사부.
Yep. That's right. It's a program called News Trace.
그거 유명한 프로 아닌가요?
You could say that. So you've heard of News Trace? Obviously she has, but I still ask for confirmation. It's obvious, it's one of my bad habits I just can't seem to shake.
물론 알죠.
Are you sure of that?
그런데 PD님이 이런 외진 곳까진 무슨 일로?
I'm here about a mysterious case of a mass disappearance that's happened, where all of these things have one thing in common. They all have an unknown factor about their disappearance, and such a place like this would be perfect to explain the whereabouts of where all these people have gone. I was on my way out here to gather information for a story I'm working on. I don't mention the words mass disappearance, no need to say more than I have to for no reason. I was travelling by car. I got lost and stuck here because of the fog, just like you.
저런. PD시면 엄청 바쁘실 텐데 곤란하시겠네요.
Well, my boss kinda didn't want me to come out here, but I decided to do it anyways to prove him wrong. Well, there's nothing I can do about it. With things being how they are, I guess all I can do is take an involuntary break. I catch myself smiling for no apparent reason. An appropriate response, well suited for a casual conversation. It's not like talking to somebody normal, but I wonder if I should be so open and casual. Kind of think of it. Why did I call out to her in the first place? Oh, I hope I'm not keeping you from something.
아니에요. 그럼 조심히 들어가세요.
Likewise, but I still don't trust you. The steam banner gives it all to me that you have wings of sorts. Oh yeah, thank you very
그럼
much.
전 이만.
Thanks, Nari Lee. She looks down at the floor shyly and walks to the other side of the hallway. How strange. I'm actually not myself. Usually I'm a lot better at talking to people. I watch Nari as she leaves and then return to my room, confused about what exactly happened just now. Kiso to that purple-haired shy girl that was just suddenly startled by the slightest faint of wind. The slightest sign of wind. It's evening already and the sun is starting to set. My whole body feels weak, and looking back at the day, I realise in retrospect I haven't eaten anything. Well, maybe that's probably a reason as to why you're feeling weak. I decide to head to the restaurant. The motel owner recommended, so I can at least have at least one nourishing meal. The very recent murder is already a hot topic of discussion at the restaurant. But there's just one thing that strikes me as strange, which is that the people talking about the murder don't appear to be very scared, like if they expect this kind of thing. If there isn't any fear or confusion, I don't mean to do that. People are talking about it in a nonchalant manner. It's like listening to a bunch of bad actors, utterly incapable of portraying emotion in their lives. Their next door neighbour just died, and it's a really small town, yet they can still carry on having normal conversations just like that. Also, I don't know if I'm just imagining things, but I get the impression they're acting this way because I'm around. Could that be, or is that whole thought ridiculous? On my way back from the diner to the motel, everything is already pitch black. And the next morning... Nope, we just get in here. Is there somebody in here? It's been a long day. I quietly complain and hastily throw off my coat. I sit down and look at the pictures I took with my phone. Looking at the mangled corpse, it looks just as bad as it did earlier. I throw my phone aside as I can feel my dinner coming up again. Sure, as a PD, it's exciting to see a big case like this. But that doesn't make witnessing something this horrible any easier, and it's enough to tire me out emotionally. Whew. I let out a loud sigh and wrap myself up in the blanket. It's nowhere near as comfy as my bed back home, but right now it's enough to make my body feel as if it's melting away. Wonderful. Starting tomorrow, I'll make some serious inquiries and get to the bottom of this. Motivate myself with some much-needed words of reaffirmation. It's all early to be going to bed already, but I should close my eyes and get some rest. Indeed you should. Oh, this sense of dread. Ah! I open my eyes and feel like I just woke from a terrible nightmare. My heart is pounding my chest like crazy, so much that it really hurts. We're somewhere else. I hold my chest tight and take a deep breath. The cell phone. There's no signal in this place, meaning phone calls shouldn't be working. I don't remember setting an alarm, but for some reason the phone's ringing. I fumble around with my phone, with my hand, and grab out to reach my phone, but I can't find it. I'll wait for a while. Oh, we're not elsewhere. As my eyes adjust to the darkness, I can see the phone next to a bed. The screen is invisible because it's turned upside down. Yes, of course, 666 alarm. And it's not even a valid time, otherwise that would be 7:06. That's not even a possible time. Yeah, a time that should not exist is displayed on a cell phone. I feel so startled and uneasy, but I toss my phone to the side. I look around the room. It's hard to see anything, really. It's a dark room, so it's only natural not to see the surroundings, but something feels different. Even now that my eyes are somewhat adjusted to the darkness, I feel a sense of loneliness and isolation the other way around this feeling. It's as if I've been abandoned in the dark. What's going on? I struggle to lift myself into an upright position. Cold sweat is running down my back. The foggy road, the strange village, the murder scene. It's like everything that could possibly go wrong is doing so, times 10. Ugh! There's a really bad stench in the air all of a sudden. I can't place it. I never smelled anything quite like this before. Oh dear, covering my mouth and nose, I look around again. For some reason, the air inside the room feels sticky. It's so unpleasant that I can't help but rub my arms with my hands. I can hear footsteps approaching. Who is here? And it's foggy in here. A cloud of cold mist hovers around the room, and someone slowly phases through the wall, stepping out through the mist. Ah, it's a tall man, dressed in what appears to be a priest's uniform. The man, no way, did he just pass through the wall? I feel like it's best not to say anything right now. I can't even bring myself to finish my question. And another one. Another man dressed in the priest's uniform appears at the opposite wall. Upon closer expression, I can see black mist emitting from inside his uniform. I feel like I'm completely surrounded, and resisting is the last thing I plan on doing. All I can do is stare. What? Though it's a blatant reaction, I can't just stay still and try to get up. And holy crap! The black mist seeping out of the man's uniform extends like a tentacle, throwing me onto the floor. The sheer force of it renders me unable to breathe for a moment. What the hell is this? A dream? Or am I going crazy? Or could this actually be real?
박준성. 이렇게 부르면 되는 건가?
That is correct. Did you read my business card? I can hear a voice in front of me, and I stare into the darkness ahead. And there's a circle. Then he shows up, accompanied by a red glow. He's definitely standing in front of me right now. Even so, I still can't logically wrap my head around the thought of him actually being here. Who are you? Oh my word.
자네의 첫 질문이
Do you
그건가?
really need to ask? You're Satan. The answer comes swiftly and in a tone I can't quite place. I feel like listening to the voices tearing my heart apart. Damn it. I don't even know how I maintain my composure right now. Well, yeah. Who the hell are you? I can barely muster up the courage to squeeze out the words. I'm still not sure if this is really happening. Who or whatever's in front of me is smiling straight at me.
너의 언어로 표현하자면
In your language.
그래.
Well,
입회자라고 부르게.
you could call me a witness of sorts. A witness? What do you mean? Have you been following me around?
신심 행사를 입회하고 있네.
I am attending a divine event. An event?
자세히 알 필요는 없네.
Really? Do you not need to burden yourself with details?
자네를 위해 준비된 행사라고 보면 돼.
You can shut up. We're escaping this. As soon as he finished with his sentence, his unsettling smile returns like he's on the brink of laughing. I'm in danger. The more I talk to this person, the more I feel a palpable sense of dread. This is an entity I shouldn't be talking to. An event? Prepared just for me? What do you mean by that?
간단한 룰이네.
You will find that the rules are quite
이
simple.
마을은 악마 부활을 목적으로 만들어진 마을이고
You mean this village was overtaken by the devil and his minions?
자네는 그것을 위해 선택된 소중한 존재지.
Of course. And who told you about our arrival here? Unless of course you've always known that.
그런 자네를 위해 5명의 암컷들을 준비했네.
Yes, and we've already met them all.
아마 이미 만나봤을 거라 생각한다.
Yes.
어땠나? 마음에 드는 자가 있던가?
Anyone particular tickle your fancy? Why did you say that? And he continues in a mocking tone of voice. Yep, all 5 of those. I could see their faces passing me by in my mind. The women I met by chance this morning. No way. Could he really be referring to
그
those?
암컷들과 즐거운 한때를 보내고 마음에 드는 자를 선택하면 되네.
Why are you giving us this choice, witness?
수컷으로서 나쁜 일은 아니지 않은가?
And what do you hope to gain from all this? Every single word of this carries an undertone of ridicule. He's definitely mocking me.
그런데 한 가지는 명심하게.
And what would that be?
그중 한 명의 불청객을 제외하면
With the exception of one invited guest among
그
them.
암컷들은 인간이 아니라는
Exactly,
것을.
they're demonesses. Wait a second, what the hell? An overwhelming sense of despair makes me stutter, but he just shakes his head as he walks slowly towards me.
직접 보도록 하게.
Yep. He puts his hand on my head. Before I know it, I'm standing in front of a door. I know this can't be real. It must be a trick. He showed me an illusion, but for some reason I'm definitely afraid of this door. And the door opens. Although I don't want to, I take a step towards it. I feel like no matter what I do, I can't turn back. My feet won't stop moving. An army of demons. No way! I exclaim without even realizing it. I'm standing in the center of hell. That is probably a very accurate description of where we are. What the hell is this water? I'm not even sure why I knew immediately that this is hell, but it definitely is, and I must be at its very center. And lots of different weird ancient writings. Suddenly my brain is flooded with information. Things I've never heard of before. Things I'm not supposed to know. Death. Festival. Event. Fog. The 7 demons ruling over the 7 deadly sins. And the death of the demon of greed. 5 women have entered the village. Yes, of course. They are, in fact, Demonesses, trying to claim the throne of greed that is currently vacant. Please stop! My head is throbbing. I close my eyes as the pain grows more intense. However, like a parasitic worm digging its way through my brain, the images keep popping up in my head and disappearing again. The unpleasant feeling soon turns unbearable. Horrible like no pain ever experienced before, followed by more pain. Oh gosh, and now the bizarre warpingness of text. My brain feels as if it's melting. It's like my brain can't cope with the sudden influx of information. My eyes are burning up, and all kinds of disgusting wicked images flash before me. Wrath, fear, lust, lies, pride, sadness, gluttony, envy, greed, sloth, plague, death, revenge, and there is immeasurable greed, strong enough to devour the whole world. Oh my god, please no. A disgusting sensation the likes of which I've never felt before forcibly makes its way up my throat. I can't hold it back any longer and start vomiting. Ugh, chop out my bed, flame through the air, yikes. I fall to the floor and roll around on the ground. Getting up once more, only to find the space in front of me empty again. After vomiting so much, it feels like my intestines are about to come out next. I fall to my knees.
네, 너희들이 행한 대로 즐길 것이다. 너희는 돌이켜 후회하고 모든 희망에서 떠날지어다.
You want us to believe that, witness?
이상 그분의 전언이네.
That is his message.
부디 즐겁게 즐겨주기를 바라지.
Thank you. The voice sounds awfully clear even though my conscience is fading. After having struggled for so long, I finally succumb to the weakness crippling over me. Wasn't that just great? Absolutely fantastic! Game progress saved. 6 days until the selection. It would be really odd if a demo covers all the days. I wake up to the sound of my phone receiving a text message, obviously from the devil itself. Who could it be so early in the morning? I sit up and scratch my head. I can't think of anyone. Kim? The reporter? Hoseok Joe? Maybe my interviewee? I found my cell phone and reached out to grab it. Who the hell is texting me at this hour? Again with the 666s. 6 days until the selection. I spot an all too familiar text message. I shake my head and get up from my bed. Ew, squishy. I step into something soft and mushy. It's vomit. I look down. There is chunky dripping vomit all over my feet. Is that? Yeah, from all that. What? Again with that. The taste of gastric acid makes its way up my throat as I remember yesterday. All the knowledge just falls inside my head. It's like it's flaring up, yet remain blurry at the same time. Flaring. I managed to stop vomiting. and wash out the nasty taste in my mouth. Notebook. I run across the room to grab pen and paper and proceed to scribble down all of my scrambled thoughts. Novena Diabolos is a 9-day long event. 5 women, monsters, and a chosen human. Memories flash up in my mind erratically and disappear just as quickly. I can't remember what I was trying to write. I slap myself to concentrate. It doesn't help. Damn it! I put my hands over my head in frustration. Over my head! I can't remember what I want to write down. What the hell is wrong with my memories? It's hard to resist the urge to just drive a ballpoint pen straight through my brain. I take a deep breath to try and sort out my thoughts. Okay, calm down. Step by step. One word after another. I continue writing. One of the women is human. On the 9th day I must leave this village with the human. The words coming out of my mouth are so bizarre. I can't even believe I'm the one who's saying them. This is obviously stuff from inside my own head. But as I write it, it's like I'm putting someone else's words on paper. It feels truly dreadful. But I do my best to focus in order to unearth the rest of these memories. I keep writing as if possessed. I'm out of breath, gasping for air, like I just ran a marathon. Oh dear, and silently stare down at what I scribbled down on paper. Sometimes we wake up from dreams that seem shockingly real, only to realize how absurd they actually are once we write them down. That perfectly describes what I'm feeling right now. This is nonsense. Absolute BS. Logical thinking makes me criticize my own writing. I do my best to cast my doubts aside and type what I wrote down into my cell phone. And this must be the credits. Or somebody talking to us. So we get given cards. 5 females, 1 male. Is our fate decided by a selection of cards? And this particular scenario is not translated, developers. Let's see, yep, 5 Demonesses. I don't understand what this game is saying, by the way. If you think I can translate Korean, you are sorely mistaken. We have to escape with one of them. And surely the Demoness escapes with the human is then ascended. But only one of them is a human in the mix. Like, it could be the last girl we met, the one that was actually quite nervous. So the third one could be the human. I'm not skipping, by the way, because I think this has given us some kind of analogy of what's going on here. But I can't speak Korean, and I can't translate from Korean to English. They're all suspect in their own ways. Like, in their own ways. What is it now? 1 something. It's like it's giving us an instruction of sorts. Another instruction. Question marks. It's almost like we need to win the trust of one of them. But only one of them is human, while the other 4 are Demonesses. Although, the one with wings is one I consider to be the one that was human. They all have an air of, well, an aura of uneasiness. The unexpected appearance of a human woman should have ruined this event, which is called Novena Diabolos. A glaring error in the devil's plans, but in his wickedness he seems to have interrogated this mishap into the event, as if it's all just a game to him. This is driving me insane. I put my head down to my hands and sigh. How the hell did I get involved in all this nonsense? By coming here? Another message. That's it. With no signal, this should not be possible no matter what. Nevertheless, the text just pops up as if nothing's wrong, which is physical proof that something really weird is going on here, and that it's not just a dream or my mind's playing tricks on me. I slowly lift my phone. I take a deep breath and open up the text message that just arrived. Who might this be? Vampire. Mina Hume. So that was the scaredy cat girl. Undead. Rin Che. Fox Spirit. Hannah Sehi. Succubus. Okay. Nari Lee. Witch. Sumi Choi. I laugh awkwardly and stare at the text with a blank expression. A game. That's what it feels like. Something from the Devil's Entertainment, or for the Devil's Entertainment. I finish up with the things on my phone. Time to clean up the vomit on the floor. I agonize over how I should proceed. With figuring out who the monsters are and who's the uninvited guest, it's important to build up trust. All in all, it's a complicated matter. Where do I start? Another text message? We can't even send one back because of a lack of signal. Another 6661. Abandon the village. Though taken aback by the message, I realised what it means immediately. According to what I was told, the monsters who are part of this event are connected to some sort of ritual. That ritual must be performed in order to qualify as a demon, a sacrifice. In more simple terms, murder. Or another term, suicide. The human offering summons the monster through magic, and is then killed by the monster to complete the ritual. It seems like this text is telling me where the summoning ritual took place. Come to think of it, I started receiving these texts the day I arrived in the village. Looking back at it now, it all becomes clear. Just yesterday a person died at the location mentioned in the text. Does that mean... Yeah, it's time to think about all of this for a moment. When a human being comes in the village, that is when the demons know that it is time for another ritual. Even if, let's per se, there's more than one human in the mix, they will still hold the ritual regardless, possibly. Or maybe that's one way to break the cycle, like if too many humans enter at the same time, then it could be like, well, we can't operate because there's just simply too many of them. These monsters need to have had victims to qualify as demons. That means the event originally would have required 5 victims. However, if one of them is human, that would only be 4 victims. If I find monster traces of some kind there, I might be able to figure out which monster did it. If I investigate and gather clues at the 4 murder sites to find the culprits, it should be possible via the process of elimination to single out a single human. But all of them have their own kind of fantasy element to them. I think I know what I need to do. Yeah, one of them is a vampire, one's a witch, one's a succubus, one's undead, and the other one... Oh gosh, what was the other one? I've forgotten now. My cell phone would have to serve as a substitute for an actual camera. I also grab a pen and a notebook and stuff them into my coat pocket. The most important thing is to be well prepared mentally. This isn't about satisfying my journalistic curiosity anymore. That sort of excitement has long gone because of the circumstances. I just wanted to find a way out of this hellish predicament. I place a hand on my pounding heart and take a deep breath. Whew. Okay, I got this. I can do this. I try to stop my hands from shaking, slap my trembling legs a few times, and make my way outside after what feels like an eternity. Are you sure that's going to go well, or as well as you think it's going to go? To be continued. So to continue the official version, thank you for playing. Okay, so then there is some translations and explains that needs a bit of adjustment and tweaking, but visually it's very strong. The story itself is very intriguing if you're into this kind of thing. The gallery is not opened up, so... Okay, so you've got you're the only one with writing on your head. That's really odd. You're one thing, you're another thing. You're another thing, you're another thing. So yeah, their color coding does kind of represent their class. Like purple, you do definitely see as a vampire. Red, you definitely see as a succubus or something with a lust or for love. Green, definitely undead because of like the ground and stuff like that. I've forgotten what you are though. You're a witch, the one in the middle, so that could be... I've forgotten the colour for that one already. I've forgotten you, and you were probably the first one to display yourself, I'm not too sure, but you're demonesses of some kind, and you're all in this together. Like, there's no way that none of you are left out in any kind of way. This is made in 2020, and looking around YouTube, like the Korean version of this game has already been released and set up for the world. It's just a matter of fact of getting the English translation up to scratch, and hopefully the translators, the developers look over the game itself and try and see if all of the text, or the spelling and grammar itself is up to scratch, and hopefully at least makes a little bit of sense, because it is a good translation, but it's not a great translation. Like, there are some bits here and there that need tweaking, some spelling errors, some words that could be used in there, or some words that could be taken out. Like, I'm not going to go through the game again and try and point out, okay, there's this bit that needs changing, there's that bit that needs changing. Just copy and paste all of your words over into a Microsoft Word document, and then you can see like all of the different red lines and blue lines and green lines, stuff like that. Words that could be changed, or words that... Anyways, folks, enough ranting from me. I think this is a very fascinating scenario, and in some ways, this is kind of like a dating sim. Because we get to select or pursue one of these 5 demonesses to put our faith and trust in. Well, only one of them is a human, but I think by process of elimination we can conclude of the fact that whoever we trust is the human. If we think that is, anyways, with the right choices made. Because if not the right choices are made, then it doesn't matter which one we select, it's going to be one of the demons anyways. So thank you so much for watching, and see you all the next time of Novena Diabolos when the full game releases, which I think is Q3. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves.